All right, gang, today we're going to be looking at chemical reactions, just kind of what they are, what is their structure, and how do we make them. So a chemical reaction is basically where we have two substances and the bonds and the atoms are broken and rearranged and they form brand new substances. So here we have an example of H2. So we have two hydrogen atoms bonded together, so that's our H2. And we have two of them, so one right here. And we have an oxygen, an O2, undergoing a chemical reaction. So the bonds that hold the hydrogen and oxygen together are broken and severed, and what they make are two water molecules, H2O. And you can see one kind of right here and the second one right here. So what we have done is we've taken substances that existed one way, so hydrogen and oxygen, gases, flammable, explosive, and we have turned them into water, a liquid, and used to put out flames and explosions. So an example of a chemical equation would be here, this word equation. So this would just be kind of writing a sentence, kind of describing what you see. But typically what we see are formula equations using symbols. So instead of saying magnesium metal, we just use the element symbol for magnesium. Instead of saying hydrochloric acid, we just write the symbol for the formula. Notice we also kind of denote here whether something is a solid, liquid, or a gas, or AQ, which means aqueous, which means that it is dissolved in water. And this helps us to just see a visualization of what is going on at the atomic level. So we have one magnesium atom reacting with two hydrochloric acid molecules, and what we get in the end is one magnesium chloride molecule, MgCl2, and hydrogen gas, H2. Chemical equations typically have certain parts. You'll notice these highlighted parts are things that you need to know. So the beginning, the left side of the equation, so we're using the arrow to kind of denote our sides. So the left side, these are our starting materials, the reactants. These are the things that are reacting together. And we use a plus sign to separate them. On the other side of the arrow, which is what's denoting our beginning or before and after. So our reactants produce what we call our products. And in this case, it's what's formed in the reaction. Also note states of matter. You don't really need to know those for the test, which is why they're not highlighted, but just so you know, solid, liquid, gas, and AQ is dissolved in water. But the highlighted parts, you do need to know the basic skeleton of a reaction, that we have our reactants, our arrow is what separates the two, and our products on the right. One of the things that you're going to have to do in the homework is take something like this in a word equation and turn it into a formula or symbolic equation. You don't have to do this on the test. However, it is very good practice, one, to understand how chemical reactions are formed and how they're structured. But two, it's also great extra practice in writing formulas, which is on the test. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can take this word equation and turn it into a symbolic formula equation. Great, let's look at the answers. So here we have our aluminum metal. Our plus sign means it reacts with, so we have a new reactant, hydrochloric acid. To form, to produce, so we have our arrow, aluminum chloride, and hydrogen gas. And that's it.